everybody, and welcome back to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, episode 89. The World Cup is over. Messi has his trophy finally. Argentina coming out winners in an absolute mad game. I'm Tony, and with me this week is Ben. Are you there, mate?
Hey, mate. All right?
I'm good, mate. James hasn't made it this week. He's had a bit of a heavy night after his birthday. We can't blame him for that. So get well soon, James. Hope you sleep that hangover off, mate. But we've got a top guest for us this week, a member of the Patreon and a top guy, Aman Tattla. Are you there, mate?
Yes, mate. How are you guys?
All good, mate.
All good, mate.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on.
It's good to have you on.
My pleasure. Always wanted to come on this show, so now's a good time.
You're here, mate. You're here.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
So, like Aman, if you want to be a member of the Patreon and show your support for the Dream Team Tonic podcast, get yourselves over to patreon.com/Dream Team Tonic. Get yourself early access to the podcast, all the articles we do, and the Discord forum, which is a massive help for all the players, all discussing the teams and stuff. Always helps to bounce ideas off. Great little community going there. And a massive shout out to Ashton Horner, aka Fergie's apprentice. I know you're probably listening, mate. Massive well done winning the World Cup Dream Team game. I know you've been listening to us from the start. One of our first listeners, I think. And it's great to see your name up there. Life-changing summer money, first and second place, I believe.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, really well done, mate. And I hope you put the money to good use and I hope it changes your life for the better, mate.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
So
what we all dream for.
It is, mate. It is. That's what we play for, isn't it? That's what we're all aiming for. So it's good. Just a quick one, Ben. How did you finish up? I know you were close as well at one point.
Yeah. I finished 8th overall and 16th overall. I was about 5 points off of the top 3 at one point, but Argentina conceded right at the end, didn't they? 2 goals. So that's and I had Di Maria as my differential. He scored a goal and he was man of the match until Mbappe went crazy and scored 3 goals, and Messi got one. So like they fluctuated between star man. And they took him off way too early. Di Maria, took him off in like 60th minute. But but I'm proud of that. It's good finish. Eighth
finish,
overall.
Brilliant finish.
Excellent.
How about you, Aman?
I didn't really enter a team in any mini leagues. I just played for fun. But while the first game was happening, I was on a plane to Tenerife, so I didn't really see. I didn't even see the Ecuador team, so I thought I just missed that game. But then I think I just went like hot Dutch and England, and just I didn't really look at fixtures. I just looked, while I was there watching the game, just picking a player, having some fun. So
not taking it too serious.
Yeah. My main concentration's the seasonal game, so I was saving all my energy for that. So, yeah. But I got about 360 points, so it was okay.
It's decent.
It was good fun. Yeah, but congrats to all the players that did really well in the Discord as well, and like Ben and Flower Pot Man was first one time as well in the league, so that was great. And
we're high up for quite a while, weren't we?
Yeah. So
Baz was flying.
Yeah.
I was always
Baz reading
McCormack as well.
Yeah. I was always reading how other people are doing. So I'm very happy for everyone that did well.
It was a nice break. It was a fun tournament. It was good. I enjoyed it. I think it finished something like 694th me. I never really threatened the top. I got to about 100th at one point. I never really threatened after Holland went out. Quite heavy on the Dutch. If the penalty shootout had gone their way rather than the Argies, I'd have probably been up in contention. But it was just one of them. You have to back the right horse at the right time. We see a lot of people did, and Yeah, fair play.
Yeah,
Fair play.
yeah. I think if there was a bigger gap between the league ending and the World Cup starting, then obviously I would have put in more research and all that. But I
Yeah.
just thought have a break and stuff, you know.
Yeah, it is nice because
So,
when you're so intense in the
yeah,
main game and you're putting all
yeah,
your effort into it, it takes a lot of time,
yeah,
takes a lot of effort.
yeah, yeah. You do,
Sometimes it's nice to just refresh your
especially
brain.
I do a lot of reading, and
Yeah.
I'm always like thinking about my team. Like first thing I wake up in the morning and night as well. So you never. It's hard to switch off. So it's a good time to like switch off and
Yeah.
just watch football for fun. You know, the only
Yeah.
times I'll get nervous is when England play.
That's it. It was a good tournament. I enjoyed it. I think England did themselves proud as well. I think played well. Should have
Yeah,
beat France, but yeah,
the French
Hey,
are
enjoyed.
hard to beat.
Yeah.
yeah, Mbappe didn't have the final laugh, did he? After laughing at Harry Kane's penalty.
Well, I know. I know. It was tough tonight. I didn't. Mrs. was saying, "Who do you want to win?" Well, neither of them really, if that's possible. I don't really want either of them. I
Mm.
mean, for Messi though, the
Yeah,
best player in the world, I think it's a nice send off for him personally. For him, didn't really want to see Argentina win, but yeah, for Messi, yeah, he deserves that.
yeah.
He's an all
The
time
best
great,
players in the world
unbelievable.
deserve winning the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
So it would have
So
been an injustice if he didn't win it.
definitely.
Yeah.
Right, Aman. A lot of our listeners might not know who you are, so we'll just have a quick intro like we like to do with our guests when you're on. It's a bit like, what's your name? Where'd you come from? Do you know what I mean? It's so how long you been playing fantasy football, and more importantly, dream team, mate?
So been playing Dream Team since 2015-16 season. So that was my first season of playing it. It was a very different game then. I think you had like free transfer windows
Yeah.
and prices were fixed.
Mm.
And my first ever like uh, team that I put in on the first weekend, it scored me 4 points overall for the week. And I had like John Terry, Ivanovic, Hazard, Mane, and Rooney, and between them I got -2 for Terry, -1 for Ivanovic, 3 points for Rooney and Mane, and the rest were like poor players around them. But when I got like 4 points, I was thinking maybe this is not the game for me. But I was like, because and that was like a week after, I was thinking, oh damn, I don't think I'm going to be good at this game. So it's my first time playing it.
yeah.
But then I just thought, okay, it can't get any worse. And then the next week, I scored 0 points. Because why they still
Not
got
the best start, that mate.
yeah. So because why Chelsea had a nightmare that season. Because why I don't know. I think it was that Marino when that bust up with the physio and
Yeah.
everything went downhill.
Yeah.
And like Hazard was about 8 million and he was the best player in the game.
Mm.
And he's just like, so it was a nightmare. But gradually I got better.
Didn't
And
they lose to Burnley in the first game of the season at home
yeah,
that
that's
season?
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
remember.
yeah, yeah. So it wasn't the greatest start to my dream team career, but I just wrote everything down and I thought if I write down how my team's doing, work out strategies as I, get more experience and all that. So yeah, so I did all right in that season. I think about 5,000, but that's
It's
like
all right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
but yeah, but my best finishes in the Sun have been 250th. Then the next season I've broken to the top 100 for the first time. I got 80th, and then my best ever finish is 24th altogether. And
Wow.
Excellent finish.
yeah, that was not last season, the season before. Yeah. last
Were you
season.
were you in contention throughout, or was it one of them late runs at the end?
Uh, well, the season I finished 80th, I was like outside the top 100 the whole season.
Mm.
And the
Yeah,
last day of the season, I just crept into 80th position. So I was well
Mm.
happy that I finished in the top 100 because
Yeah.
it's always been like a dream that I've finished in the top 100 because I've always been like 500, 250. And then
yeah.
when I finished 24th, I think I was just a few places behind Ben. In 19th, he was, I think, that season.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, but that's the season when Fergie won it. That's what it
yeah,
was. Yeah. I didn't have uh, Dominic Calvert-Lewin with those hat tricks in the League Cup back
yeah,
to
yeah.
back.
Yeah,
Back-to-back hat tricks. Yeah, I had
I
him
was
at the
like,
start of
fire.
the season.
yeah, I think he had
Yeah,
Everton block,
Everton
weren't it?
block, yeah,
yeah,
might have been that, yeah. So yeah, I think I went heavy on Liverpool in that team because they did really well that season. Yeah,
What was the closest you came with that season? What was the highest you came at any point in that season when you were 24th?
I think I was just around that area, like
Yeah,
20th. Yeah. So yeah, but uh, I never see myself as a serious contender to win it, but I've tried to finish as high as possible as I can.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind taking risks and all that,
Happy days.
and all good.
So
And
talking
yeah,
about risks, how would you describe your approach to playing Dream Team?
at the start, I was too much of a risk taker. I would put in, I would put in players that I like, but not necessarily be good dream
Mm,
team assets.
yeah,
So I just watch them on TV, and I'll say, "Oh, I like this guy," but then I've been one of my weaknesses is I don't tend to go block defense
right,
because
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good at the defensive side of my game. So I always, it's very easy to look at people who are going to score because you know, you got, if you get the chances, you're going to score and stuff. But it's
Mm.
hard to
yeah,
predict clean sheets because it might not be your defender that makes a mistake, but it might be might be goalkeeper, anything, and like that. But sometimes I just go Man City defense, and they reliably get clean sheets, even though
Mm.
it comes at a cost. So I might go with
yeah,
Man City clean sheet and find cheap enablers in midfield, and because I remember one time I brought when I had my season where I finished 24th, I had the Chelsea striker Tammy Abraham, and he
yeah.
was really like 2.5. And when I put him in straight away, he scored a hat trick at Wolves.
Mm.
So I jumped really
Lovely.
high. That was at the start. So and sometimes yeah, and you know I like people. Sometimes when people are behind, they put their differentials in, but
Yeah,
I try to put in differentials in every like month of the season. So
yeah,
some those act as a sword to push me up. Because you
Mm.
got
yeah,
the template players that are there as a shield to protect your rank,
Mm.
yeah,
you know. So you need players that can push you a bit as well. So
yeah. Definitely. If you've no differentials in there, you are just going to stand still.
yeah, and yeah, but I remember when I finished on my high, I was like 200 for about 2 months because I had the same players. Like I was going nowhere. It's
Yeah,
like, but then I just thought if I go too differential, I might go down. So I just thought I'll play it safe, hang in there, and then gradually I'll take risks in the last month.
Mm.
And sometimes other players around you will take risks, and that's why it be. So yeah,
yeah.
but enjoyed yeah. I've enjoyed my Sun Dream Team career so far.
You're doing well, mate. You smash it. Smash it. You had a good start to the season this season as well, haven't you?
Uh, yeah, with my top team. Started as a Man City block, and yeah, did well. Try, getting those cheapish defenders from the big clubs really
Yeah.
helped. Like Sergio Gomez, when he came, was 3 million. By the
Yeah.
time I sold him, he was 4 million.
Yeah.
And the reason I sold him was the red card that he got.
Yeah.
So sometimes, yeah. So you just pick up those players cheap and then sell them high. Hopefully, that's the plan in like all my teams.
Yeah. It is.
What's the Arsenal defender you had as well? You got him cheap.
Tommy Asu, was it?
Tommy Asu, yeah.
Tomiyasu, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would have liked to have kept him, but he got injured at the last month. And then
Yeah.
and then I went on a Man United defense at the end, and they conceded
Yeah.
the 3 goals
Same.
versus Villa, and then 5 goals altogether versus Villa, and then they
Yeah.
conceded against Fulham. But
So where did before the break for the World Cup? Where did you finish at? What's your current position in your top team now?
so when November came, I was just inside the top 100,
Yeah.
and then the Arsenal defenders blocks
Yeah.
jumped over me, along with Newcastle blocks that were there
Yeah.
as well. So those two, and I went Man United
Yeah.
as they conceded. So 232 right now.
So you didn't
So
do as bad as me because I got swallowed up by the Arsenal and the Newcastle blocks, and obviously at one point I was fourth, and then I'm down to 600 and I think 609th I am now. It was just such a tumble. I think there were like three or 4 weeks, and I cannot get any points. I cannot get any.
yeah, well,
City, I went City,
yeah,
and then
Yeah,
results were
safe.
just that Cancelo red card against Fulham, that penalty, and then the Brentford defeat. I was just like, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
You-
City were the player. City was the
Yeah.
player,
Yeah.
especially if you could afford it with your team value.
yeah,
You was trying to play safe and it didn't work out.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
yeah.
And
And
Aman's,
really, if I just took the risk and went Newcastle,
yeah.
which it wouldn't have even felt like a risk really because Newcastle played so well.
Yeah,
Trippier's just racking up them Star Man awards.
yeah.
But yeah, the fixtures, everything pointed to City.
Yeah. And Man United, they had loads of clean sheets before November. So you think,
Yeah.
oh, right, they're doing all right now. They're quite steady. And then, like, Aman's picked them and
Yeah.
they've not worked out. Just the way fantasy football is sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at the fixture list, and they had the last fixture on the like versus Villa on that game week, and I thought if I can get a clean sheet in that game, I'll be flying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was just, I think they played the reserves defense anyway, so
Yeah, and then they got a new manager in, didn't they, Villa? So that's why they scored a few goals.
yeah,
Got to kick up the ass from Unai Emery.
yeah. You always got to consider that new manager bounce, which I didn't,
Yeah, definitely.
you know.
So, have you got any tips for new Dream Team players?
Just study the fixtures, and join the Discord and join the
Hey,
Dream Team
good
Tonic.
man.
Yeah.
Plug for the
So,
Dream Team Tonic Discord and the Patreon, yeah.
yeah. Well, last season I wasn't on the Tonic and I had a nightmare, so I thought the first thing I thought I got to join the Discord, get some tips from all the guys on the Discord, and then yeah, so it's been good for me. I enjoyed
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. You're a great member of the Discord as well. It's great to have you involved.
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
I'm quite active on there. I try to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
In the Discord, Aman, you are known as the richest man in Dream Team.
Yeah.
That you literally are the man of gold. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at your team and
Yep.
see what you've built with your amazing budget. Um, yeah. So here's your team.
All right, I've gone for De Gea in goal at 3.4 million, and he's done all right so far. He's made a lot of saves, and he has also starman potential. And Man United's fixtures, the first four
Mm,
are quite good: Burnley,
yeah.
Forest, Wolves, and Bournemouth. And the three in the league have scored. The three teams in the league have scored like less than one goal a game. So you could
Yeah.
get three clean sheets in a row.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that,
If you wanted
yeah,
to hand pick some fixtures,
yeah,
I mean, they're not bad, them, are they?
yeah. So also one of the earliest advice I got was pick defenders for fixtures, pick attackers for form. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I went for the Man United fixtures for the defense there. So then I paired him with Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
should be back in training right now, and it was going to be Darlow at the same price, but uh, Darlow is a bit of an injured doubt right now. So
Yeah. Still not heard anything about that. I'm still in the dark. Whoever
Yeah,
is he
hamstring
injured?
injury.
yeah,
Good.
but yeah, Luke Shaw's got the assists and the
Yeah.
corners, so gone for him. And the other two defenders are not a surprise, with Trippier being the highest scoring defender in the game,
Yeah.
and he's
Yep.
getting about 6.5 points per game, and he just does everything. Creates the most chances from corners. Star mine magnet. Newcastle good defensively, hard to break down, and they consider like 11 goals in 15 league matches. So that's
Yeah. He'll be
like less
very
than
good.
one goal, yeah.
Mm.
So I like a player that takes set pieces,
Yep.
a cheaper version of Trent. Well, not as cheap
Not
as
not
before.
that cheap now, is he?
Yeah,
No, he's
three
Five
creeping
million
up,
point
as
isn't he?
four.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then gone for quite expensive defenders in Cancelo, but I just City got one of the best defenses, and he plays every game. He can play left back, right back, very attacking, and he had a poor end to the first half of the season, but I'm sure he'll get back to form.
Yeah.
And
The most
yeah,
nailed Man City defender as
yeah,
well, isn't he? So
yeah,
should play.
and yeah, and they got a lot of good. Well, they got a lot of fixtures in January with doubles, so I'm thinking of just putting him there and then leaving him to the end. So it does. It won't. I won't get worried if he goes to 6.6 less than like if it goes down in value. So
Yeah.
I just be there, and he's got the potential to go up to 7.5.
Mm. He was before, wasn't he? He was like
Yeah, yeah,
7.5 or something
yeah.
before.
So if he can get a few goals, his price can rocket, and it'd be hard for the rest to afford him if his price goes that high again.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, because
Mm.
why
So
in
it becomes
February?
a differential then.
Yeah, in February time, people will want him because why when City play, is it Leipzig in the Champions League? They got one of the easiest Champions League fixtures
Yeah, they got
compared
a
to the
decent
rest.
draw, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, and they'll go far in probably the League Cup and FA Cup. They was there in the loss end stages, trying to win every trophy. And then in midfield, I've gone for the main man, Kevin De Bruyne, who does everything that you want him to do: goals, assists, and star man. And when you're feeding a player like Haaland, you're gonna get a lot of assists. And and I'm thinking on a bad day, you'll probably get one assist and a rating. so like 5 points. He's averaging 6 points per game, so
Yeah.
yeah, so you know, and he's quite expensive as well, so another differential could be in the future. And I paired him with Foden, who is doing really well in that attacking area on the right where Morris used to be, and he's got a good link-up play with Haaland. He's acting like that second striker, and he's a good finisher, and he looks to be on good form from the World Cup. So
I always get worried with Foden in his game time.
yeah, but
Um,
yeah,
but he's so
yeah,
productive when he's on
yeah,
pitch.
yeah,
Mm.
Such a good player.
yeah,
Best player England have got, other than Harry Kane.
yeah,
And obviously,
yeah,
he got the game time in the World Cup and he played well.
yeah.
Um,
So I could start with Madison instead, and then change to Foden.
yeah.
Mm.
But uh,
If
I'll,
Madison
yeah,
starts in the cup
yeah,
game,
yeah, yeah. I might do that, but I like trying to get as many City players as I can in my team.
Yeah.
yeah,
Although that way I don't have to spend transfers later on. I can
yeah,
use transfers around them, so I
Mm.
keep the City players in. Then with the fixtures being so good, I've gone for Bruno Fernandes, who was should be on penalties and has been
yeah,
on top form for Man United. And he should be coming out like the leader now with Ronaldo gone.
Yeah.
So
I think that'll revitalise him,
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Decent World Cup too, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a good World Cup, some decent form going into it. Yeah, I think at 5.4 million, I think he's a decent option.
yeah, he could go up to in price as well to 6 if he with those fixtures he should get assists and goals.
Yeah,
And he's and um, and yeah, if there's pace and trickery around him with Rashford, Anthony, and Martial, they should Man United should be getting penalties because they'll be quick and
yeah.
in the transitions.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Fernandez will be back, won't he?
He's
yeah,
hop and skip and jump.
Yeah,
and then gone with the, the star performer of the season, Almiron, at 3.3, still a very good price,
yeah,
and scoring goals for fun, 8 goals in 16 games, and he's just uh, unbelievable player on that right hand side for Newcastle. And I think because of the solid defense on the team, he has less defending to do, so he can
Mm.
attack them. So he's like the new Mahrez.
Yeah. I was just thinking that,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah,
He
man.
reminds me of Mahrez when he played for Leicester.
Yeah, he's just just taking that responsibility and doing a great job. And I read some Maximan say today that he's so happy for Miggy, that he's a great person and great player, and he deserves what's happened. And he said, uh, I hope to be back in the team and help him score even more goals. So everyone's really wants Almiron to do well. Looks like a likable guy and smiling every time he scores. I was very impressed with him when he played Spurs away and that Newcastle won 2-1,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
he was very good in that game. So yeah,
It's gonna be weird that we're gonna get to a point after this restart where Almiron's probably not a differential.
yeah,
He's probably very highly owned
Yeah.
yeah,
at that price.
yeah. But yeah, I'm happy to hold on for him for a while. And then up front, I gone for the main man, Haaland. Just unbelievable scoring stats. I think think it's 18 goals in 14 games. It's just unbelievable.
Scary.
Yeah, he's gonna score. I always thought before the start of the season that he's gonna score 40 goals, and
Yeah.
people were like put off because of his community shield performance. But I
Mm.
just thought when I looked at him for the first time, I thought this guy's massive. He just scares everyone, and he's just going to be so lethal in that box, which
Yeah.
is proven. So Man City like to score a lot of goals in the 6 yard box. So
Mm.
I always get players that run to the byline and cross it, low
Mm.
cross. So yeah, he's done a lot of that. So and he's completely refreshed
Yeah.
and no competition from Alvarez for a while with him
Well, no, he'll be
winning
on
the
lash now, Alvarez,
Yeah.
won't
yeah
It'll be half pissed
two,
now.
he'll be a bit ropey by the time.
2 weeks off he will have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
yeah.
and I
So
mean when he does get back to
It'll be some
Alvarez, just a big
party.
shout out for him because he's had a very good World Cup.
Yeah,
And I could see him getting a lot more game time once he does get back.
and
definitely.
then I've gone for the expensive Salah with Haaland, 8.6,
Yeah,
but he's had the World Cup off and should be raring to go. And he's got the penalties and he can score big as well. And
yeah, starting to hit a bit of form again, weren't he? Salah
yeah,
crept
Yeah.
back up that point scoring table.
so proven quality there. He's
Yeah,
done it
definitely.
season after season. Then lastly, I've gone for Rashford because those fixtures are too hard to ignore. So I got like a spine of Man United in there
Mm.
to take advantages of those fixtures. So he's Ten Hag has compared him to Mbappe
Really?
recently. Yeah, he's like he runs at defenders in the only way that Mbappe does. So yeah, his confidence is up after scoring 3 goals,
Yeah.
and yeah, but
That's some
yeah,
team, mate. That is some team you've got there. How much money have you got there? How much is that team cost? Well,
uh,
how much value do you have still?
63.4,
Phew, that is unbelievable. That
and it's
how?
got 0.3 in the bank.
Oh,
Even got change.
Yeah,
incredible. No like enablers in there at all. They're all over 3 million. The cheapest players 3.3. It's just incredible. You've been
yeah.
doing well, haven't you? Building your team value in the first half of the season.
Well, I learned from you guys at the start when you said build that team value up, build that team
Yeah.
value up, Bennett.
I
And
wish
this
I
is
took
what,
my own advice.
You have smashed it there, Aman.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
incredible.
it shows with what you've got there on that pitch, with a little bit
yeah,
of change to spare as well. It shows
yeah,
why it was important for it to build
yeah,
early
yeah. I
doors.
feel with this team, I don't have to like. I'm not unhappy with any other players. I just like,
No?
yeah. There's no like sacrifices. Oh, I don't like this player in my team. I
Yeah.
need to, yeah. But yeah, you know, it's got the right players. Man United, Man City,
Yeah,
Newcastle, all
Yeah.
on form.
it's
You
got the
know,
right fixtures.
yeah.
It's got a bit of everything on it.
You know, just need only one Liverpool player right now. I think you don't need
Mm.
Trent. You don't need Robinson. You know,
What would be your plan for Kane if Kane starts going off? Just to throw that in there, because
yeah,
obviously with Rashford being at 4.5,
yeah,
who would you if you came to it and like say you like to play your attackers on form,
yeah.
so Kane's smashing them in. How are you getting Kane in there? Who are you sacrificing?
Probably. I don't know if I can afford it, but I'll probably do Salah to Nunes and Rashford to Kane, and
Like
that
if
way
that
I
was like a
still,
rough idea.
yeah, that's
Mm.
and that way I still retain some Liverpool attack
Yeah.
and have Kane as well. So
Yeah,
I don't mind doing that way. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm also thinking of one player that's really impressed me is Saka.
Yeah.
Think he's on fire. The way he played in the
yeah.
World Cup,
Yeah.
he's just
Very talented player.
yeah, he's just gone on another level, and I think he's
He's
right
a
now.
snip as well.
Yeah,
4.2 million.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think he's Arteta's most important player. Arteta will
He
play him.
is.
He's a because I got no Jesus from now, and
Yeah,
Saka, you know how to score. You got that ice cold penalty, temperament, and I like to have Foden and Saka on my team in the future
yeah.
with a De Bruyne in there, and
Just to build
possibly
that budget even more.
yeah,
Yeah.
Get him in for Almiron.
yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy with this team. I think the only thing I would change is Darlow for Luke Shaw because Darlow's been
Yeah,
getting the star mans, but
yeah. He's been
yeah,
very good
yeah,
start of
yeah.
the season, Dallo.
But
But obviously
yeah,
with the injury. But Luke Shaw's having a good year.
yeah. So I don't mind in other teams going for that triple up of De Gea, Darlow, and Shaw, but
Yeah,
it will have to be right now, and Darlow's not. I'm still unsure about his fitness. So
yeah,
the main United fixtures, these are the ones to attack right now that are coming up in December and early Jan.
yeah. Yep, good stuff, mate.
Yeah.
Very solid. Um,
Let's hear about
well,
your teams.
we'll have a flick through mine. Um, quite a similar, I'd say a similar build up. De Gea in the goal, 3.4 million. You can't ignore those United fixtures. We always preach play fixtures, fixture quality, fixture quantity. They've definitely got the quality of fixtures. One thing we did touch on last week as well is because Varane and Martinez was involved in the final today,
Yeah.
they're now going to be playing possibly with obviously Maguire and Lindelof at the back, which is, if you rewind a good few months ago, they probably what a little bit shaky for United. So, but I'm I'm keeping faith. I think Maguire had a good World Cup. Um,
Yeah.
he looked a little bit shaky here and there, obviously playing out from the back and stuff like that. But he had a very good World Cup. To be fair, he's all right. So 2.9 million, he sneaks in there, and then the your team, Aman, Trippier, main man, as you touched on, set pieces, Starman Magnet. He's got it all. He's been unreal. Um, he's been brilliant for Newcastle. So
And he played in the friendly on yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance he'll play in the League Cup against Bournemouth. Just
hopefully,
yeah. So
hopefully,
that's the advantage you getting him early.
yeah,
That's why you can just get him in, and hopefully he'll play that game, or even
yeah.
though he's a come on as a sub
Mm.
and get you 5 points. So it'll be a
I
good
think
start.
was it the last cup game that
Yeah, he
they
did come on.
played. They played. Yeah, they played like a second string back line, but then brought the big ones on. Seemed like everybody got a clean sheet for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Trippier and all the rest of them. Next to him, I've got his big mate Dan Burn, who I think is a good player. He's a good player. He's not. He isn't like your typical left back, is he?
No.
At like 7 foot or whatever he is, but yeah, he's had a solid season so far.
I'm
So
surprised he doesn't score because why he's so big, and
I know.
Trippier's
Yeah.
got the crosses. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
I just
something he needs to add to his game, innit?
yeah, but yeah,
But yeah, there's the back line. Pretty standard, really. United for the fixtures. Newcastle have been so solid so far this season. And then opening with that, hopefully, a cup game for Trippier and Byrne against Bournemouth. Into midfield, Miggy Almiron, who, like I say, probably won't be a differential anymore because he's been absolutely on fire. So at 3.3 million, he's becoming hard to ignore, especially with the European games, not returning for a while, so he's made it into my four-man midfield. De Bruyne, who didn't have the greatest of World Cups, but him and Haaland are still City's absolute main men. And I think going forward, you've always got to have them.
Yeah,
7.9 million is a big bit of budget.
he
But
scored
yeah,
in the friendly yesterday and got an assist.
they are. So
So
hopefully
he's up and running.
he's just a bit jinxed by that Belgian side.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
he was
different
just
team in Man City and Belgium. So
definitely,
yeah,
definitely. Belgium remind me of the old England side when we used to have like Gerrard, Lampard, Beckham. Didn't know how to play him, and he had all the talent in the world, but just couldn't quite get it going. Yeah, disappointing campaign for Belgium. And then that man who's had a cracking World Cup, Fernandez, and yeah, just the Ronaldo leaving and United's fixtures as I think a little punt on him could prove fruitful, especially if he lines up against Burnley in that cup game.
he's got a hat trick potential as well. I remember he scored
Definitely,
a hat trick against Leeds on the first day of the season. I thought that was great watching that in the pub.
yeah.
So
He can score big,
yeah,
Fernandez, can't he?
yeah.
Even from that midfield position, he can be a big scorer. So he's someone who could score big points. And up top, Salah, who, like we touched on earlier, was hitting a bit of form and fresh from no World Cup. He should be fit and firing. Haaland again, fresh from the World Cup. I think 8.8 million now. Haaland, unbelievable. But should just guarantee goals. It'd be interesting to see how Liverpool and City line up for that cup game.
Yeah.
It is going to be interesting, but
Not until the Thursday, though, is it?
no, so it's one of them where I can see them both going strong.
Yeah.
I can see them both going strong. So I'm not too scared of
I
that.
think I read yesterday that Klopp saying Van Dijk and Henderson are already back in training, so they should
You
be.
you
Yeah,
can
he's
see them
got
all
mates.
out there, can't you?
Yeah, strong. Both of them will be strong. So
And
it
then just
should
to
be
top it off, like same front three as you, Aman. Rashford, core of United. Hopefully, that pays dividends. Attack them fixtures. 56.7 million, so a little bit poorer than your
Less.
side, Aman. Hence a
so.
few of the options. So, sorry, I didn't mention that. I've thrown in there Odegaard
All right.
at
Okay.
2.9 million.
Yeah.
Who's had a fruitful season so far. He's been all right, and at 2.9 million is absolute steal.
Mm.
He doesn't have the cup game, and I would say that I'm not going to be scared about using transfers early doors in this month because it's so short.
Yeah.
So when the lineups do come out with, I think we see it. Do we see all four games on that Tuesday?
Yeah. We've got Milton Keynes, Leicester, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Southampton, Lincoln, and Wolves, Gillingham.
Yeah, I mean the Wolves, Gillingham, and the MK Dons, Leicester stick out for me. So I might be putting one or two of those in, and then probably reverting back to these for the weekend, depending. Because if Madison lines up against MK Dons,
Yeah.
I think you've got to find a way of getting him in. I touched on last week about Vardy as well, who tempt me if he does start on penalties. Wolves, obviously, not so clear about who would start or whatever for them, but and they're not the most free scoring. Leicester's probably tickling me fancy a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously a
New
lot of
manager
punts to
bounce
be
for
had
Wolves,
there.
though.
Yeah, there should be. There should be
Yeah.
a new manager bounce, and you've got cheat code Traore there, aren't you? Who knows what he'd do to a Gillingham's back line?
You might get 3 points.
Yeah, plenty of dribbles. But yeah, there's my 11. There's my team reveal. Um, and yeah, like I say, not as expensive as yours, man, but I'm pretty happy with that. I think it covers most of the fixtures that I want to.
Yeah. You got the Man United players in there and the Newcastle ones. that are doing really well. So yeah, it's a solid team.
Cheers, mate.
But
Ben,
Right.
over to you.
Yeah. So my podcast team, I've got 54.1 million. So it's not as much as Aman. LU. I'm not going to go through as deep detail because I've got Haaland, Salah, and Rashford, same front three as used to. And then midfield, I've got De Bruyne, Almiron, same. But then I've got Madison in there. So I'm hoping he starts that first match. And if he doesn't start, I might go on to Fernandez
Yeah, you've got
and
plenty of
gamble.
options from there, haven't you?
Yeah, gamble. See if Fernandez starts, or I don't know, maybe have a look at Man City. Gamble on a Man City extra midfielder.
we
I've
might
just
get some hints from the press conference on Tuesday for the Man
yeah,
United game. Yeah, so
yeah,
that might just say who's available, who's not.
Yeah, good shout.
yeah.
So
And then I've got Trippier at the back, Shaw, and then my budget starts weakening a bit here. So I've got 1.1 in the bank still to play with. So I've decided to have a look at Lewis Dunk. He's captain of Brighton on some free kicks and that gets in the box.
Yeah,
Could get a goal. They're playing Charlton and Southampton the week after, so good fixtures. And then they've got Arsenal, Everton, and Middlesbrough in the cup. Brighton's been decent team this year. They need
yeah,
need to tighten up a bit more, but they have been tight. They have been good defensively in the past. He could become a Stupinian if I want, because he's only 1.4 million.
good for a goal though, Dunk, isn't he?
Yeah, good for a goal. And then my other defender is Lindelof at the minute, but I might change that to Maguire. I just wanted to double up on the Man United back line with them fixtures. Lindelof's only 2.2 million. I could get Maguire for 2.9. Maguire's got more chance of getting star man though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I might change that. And then in goal, I did have De Gea last week on the pod, but I've dropped down to Bazunu of Southampton. Right, you might be laughing now, but listen to these fixtures for Southampton. New manager bounce, I'm hoping. Lincoln at home, Brighton at home, Fulham away, Forest at home, Palace away in the Cup, Everton away. Goes on and on. The decent fixtures all the way through to February. So if I can get a couple of clean sheets out of him
yeah,
and
Yeah,
get the value up, and then I can move on to a De Gea
yeah,
or a Pope or something like that.
yeah, I really like him as a
Mm,
really cheap goalkeeper
yeah,
budget, and because I your expectations are very low, so
yeah,
if you get 3 points and anything you get is a
mm,
bonus, and those fixtures they don't come around again, like so
yeah,
you might as well
yeah. It's a
if you
nice
got
little
good
run that.
fixtures. So yeah,
yeah. But they've and we've got no European games till February, so
yeah,
it
yeah,
it doesn't really matter about having a European goalkeeper for now. Yeah, just try and get some clean sheets out of Bazunu. I could have got Danny Ward, but I just thought let's try and do something, and then if I need that money for something else, I can
Yeah,
move on to something else. I don't really not really bothered about having an expensive goalkeeper until the European games kick in.
yeah.
yeah.
So I'll have to worry about that when I get to February.
They only really help like bump up your block, don't they? The
Yeah,
goalkeeper really. They don't do
especially
much
when
for
you
you.
get 2 games a week out of them, like with the European
Yeah,
games.
yeah, definitely.
But I can get away with it for a couple of months anyway,
It's gonna
especially with them
be
Yeah,
fixtures.
it's gonna be really hard to get onto Edison and Allison in this game.
Mm, yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, because the prices have gone more or less back to what they started with at the start of the
yeah,
season.
yeah,
Because there was a dip, and then you know, Allison was really quite cheap at one point, but then he had that amazing week where he got 30 points, and
yeah.
then his
he's
value
back up
just
to
shot up.
normal.
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't
so
take long for him to shoot back up,
yeah,
did it?
yeah.
Um, De,
So
De Gea went down to about 2.8 at one point. I think I jumped on him. and a few people jumped on Kepa, didn't they, when he was really cheap?
Yeah,
Um,
I had a lot of Keppers.
yeah, Kepa's only 3 million, but he ain't got a cup match, so and they don't play until like the Thursday after,
Yeah,
so you don't get to see the teams.
You probably
Man
want to
City,
get You probably want to get rid of those City fixtures for Chelsea before putting in Kepa. So,
yeah,
yeah,
back to back
to
City, aren't
me,
they?
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
could be
he's one
sa-
I've look eyeing
could
up.
be could be same said for Man City though. They've got Liverpool, then they've got Leeds, Everton, okay, Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham, Wolves, okay, Tottenham, tough. So it's like could concede a few goals there, and then he could drop in value, Edison,
Yeah,
and then you're laughing, you can
Yeah,
jump on him there.
yeah,
it's probably a reason they're not got anywhere near like looking at a City block.
Mm.
Defensively, no. Like obviously, their attacks fixture proof.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
they're always going to score goals and get points.
yeah,
I don't think
I
there'll be
think
any
right
troubles.
now just go with the attackers.
Yeah,
Try and get four of them if you can, like Foden in there, and that'll be. But have De Bruyne and Haaland because there'd be goals and assists, and then
yeah.
probably get a third attacker like Foden. So
There
yeah,
might be a lot of people that if they've not built the budget high enough, that might sacrifice De Bruyne. I
mm.
think. I don't think he. I don't think he'll be as highly owned at 7.9 million because people might see City's fixtures and think, I don't really fancy that. But
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see what his ownership's at once it comes
I've got
around.
it here if you want to know.
Is that up to date? That as well.
That updated approximate midnight daily. Well, on the FF Stuff website, it says updated approximate midnight daily. So, it's got top 1,000 is 91.5% owned KDB. But I would imagine a lot of people haven't
Yeah,
tinkered with their teams yet.
yeah, yeah. Because everyone's been playing World Cup game, haven't they? So
Yeah,
yeah, not many people probably looked at it yet. But yeah,
he's 47% owned overall.
in half of teams almost.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. City, like I say, fixture proof going forward, aren't they? De Bruyne, Haaland, they're going to score and assist against anybody.
I wonder
Yeah,
if Haaland's going to be 100% owned in top 1K.
surely.
Surely, yeah, because he's not. He's only 88% owned at the minute.
uh, that's because of that injury and
Yeah,
yeah, I couldn't get back to him my strongest team because I didn't have him in against Brentford,
Hmm.
so I was kind of
oh,
nervous, but
You got
got
away with
my
one there, mate.
booked. Yeah, I was like so nervous because I couldn't, I didn't have the route to like afford him.
yeah,
Like I went, I had all my money on like I spent a lot of money on Fernandez for that last couple of weeks. So yeah, and I had Alvarez, so I thought Alvarez might
he did all
play.
right, Alvarez,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah,
Yeah,
in the
He
last
was, he
yeah,
was a decent punt. I
yeah,
think I remember Farpotman threw in as well.
yeah,
They were a good shout. I think the people that went against Haaland for the last couple of
yeah.
games,
I got
uh,
a nice price rise out of him, so he did
yeah,
really well.
price rise, some points. It were a decent play that to Alvarez. So yeah, fair play to those who didn't get back to Haaland for them games. But I mean, Haaland against Brentford at home, that must have been scaring a few people.
Yeah, but yeah,
Right, that's the team reveals done. Got a couple of questions that we're going to throw in here. Um, Tomo's Tomo's been on. He's got a few, so I'll go through one by one. What players would you target in the cup games? Ben.
well, pretty much what we've done in our team. So, like Newcastle players, Almiron, Trippier. You could even go for a Newcastle block in defence. Leicester players, like Vard, you'll get to see the lineup. So Vardy, if he starts, he got 18 points in the last cup match. He got 2 goals and a star man. Madison, if he starts, he's going to start in all the league games, so then you can leave him in.
Yeah.
United, obviously, they play Burnley, which could be a tough game because Burnley are averaging 3 goals a game at the minute. But obviously, it's Championship football, so could be a
Yeah. This
different
shit.
story. Who, Burnley? You're bound to say that, though. You're a Blackburn fan. Yeah.
How are Blackburn doing? Are they?
It's crazy. We've just been pummeled off Burnley, pummeled off Preston, and then we go to Norwich and win 2-0 the other night. We're third. We're doing all right, but we've not drawn a game in 23 games. We've won 13 and lost 10.
That's amazing.
That's how inconsistent we've been. We've got a very, very, very young side. So young. It's full of academy players. We've got a lot of talented players there, but we just cannot find that consistency.
It's good though, because like if you win a match, you get 3 points, right? But if you draw a match, you only get 1 more point than a loss. So you might as well go for the win. You know what I mean? The way Blackburn's gone for it, they're just going for it. Get the 3 points. If you don't get 3 points, we've only lost 1 point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of going for the draw.
Yeah.
Because they all add up.
We've got Jon Donald Thomason in charge. He's a breath of fresh air, to be honest. I love Tony Mowbray. He did a great job for us. I just think he's brought, I don't know, just a bit more to it. And he trusts the young lads, which is always good. Because these lads have probably been at Rovers since 13, 14-year-olds. So we have a good group. We'll just see where it goes. I'd like to get in playoffs. Since we got relegated in, I can't remember what year it was now.
During the war.
But we've not been. We've never got into playoffs. We've not even had a playoff place since we went down. Obviously, we went down to League One and then got back up. But yeah, see how it goes. But Burnley have been pretty impressive this season. It would take a lot to stop them going back up. They're a very different side under Company than what they was under Dyche.
Are they defensively strong? Burnley?
He's playing the Man City way. He plays a lot of football, and they're doing well. They're doing well. I can see United scoring goals against them. Definitely.
He's been linked with the Belgium job, hasn't he? Company.
I hope he goes because he's doing a good job at Burnley. So, but yeah, to be fair to them, they're doing all right, Burnley, and they look pretty decent. They've spent the money well. So, hopefully United get a clean sheet, though. Yeah. Anyway, people to target in the cup, then, Aman. Have you any players you've not mentioned, mate?
Be interesting to see the Southampton lineup. So they got good fixtures afterwards. So if you get a few regulars in there, you can keep them for a bit longer. Yeah. So, like the goalkeeper, like Ben has mentioned. So if he starts, he'll be one to keep long term. Even if he doesn't start, he'll still be a good enabler. So I'd be a first choice. And then the left back, is it Perot?
Perot,
yeah. He impresses me a lot. He's got. I was looking at his stats, and he's very attacking. He's like he's had 2 goals and assists over the last 6 games in the league. Yeah. And he's had, I think he's up there with shots by a defender. So if Southampton are changing their way they play and being more direct, he could be flying in like on the flanks and giving assists. So they could be more direct team, Southampton. And Ward-Prowse, he's been quiet, but he can be consistent. He's got those free kicks and penalties in his locker. So he could have a big haul if he starts in the League Cup. So, they're a team that interests me a lot because you get to see the team as well.
Yeah, you get to see the team, don't you? And they're following it up with some really good fixtures after that.
Yeah, and Newcastle, of course, there'll be ones that are very interesting, like Nick Pope, even though it's quite expensive at 4.1. If he's starting that League Cup game, you can you'll probably get a clean sheets and then carry on that form that he's doing, and you can
Yeah,
keep you you can go like Newcastle block or have Trippier, Pope, and Burn as your defensive backbone
yeah,
and keep those for a long time. And yeah, and Leicester as well, Vardy. It's interesting. So he has got that whole potential, the pass, and he should be on penalties.
yeah,
But yeah, it all depends on the players that he's got around him. If there's creativity in there as well. So yeah, so they're the ones I will be looking at the most. But
yeah. Completely
Southampton's the
agree.
most interesting team for me.
There certainly will be differentials. Um, I- they've got the fixtures to follow it up after that cup game, so
So if your budget's really low, you can
yeah,
keep them for longer, and
yeah,
hopefully the budget will grow. So the Southampton left back is only 1.6 million.
yeah.
So you know,
It's Nathan Jones that has gone in at Southampton, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
Nathan
From
Jones.
from
Luton.
Luton. Yeah,
Yeah, uh,
Luton were pretty solid. They were a pretty solid team from what I remember from when Rovers have gone down there and we played Luton.
I,
Um,
I heard that he's very like direct and he gets uh, a lot of goals. So they might play like Fulham do, like go from defense straight to attack, be very
up,
direct.
yeah, up to
Yeah,
main men, try and
yeah,
feed off the second balls.
Shea
yeah,
Adams could be a good option if he
Yeah,
starts in the
yeah.
cup.
mm, yeah, definitely, definitely. Just for like a 1 week punt there, because obviously you wouldn't want him to swallow up your striking position for too long. But
No.
yeah, in the cup, brilliant. Right, next one. Would you go for any block defences in your lower scoring teams as a bit of a punt? Have you any plans to do that, Ben?
Yeah, definitely looking at Newcastle. I might tinker with Leicester just to see if they can carry it on.
Yeah,
They've got a tricky start. They've got MK Dons to start with, but then they play Newcastle at home and Liverpool away, and then Fulham at home. And Fulham have got goals in them, haven't they, as well?
yeah, they do.
Especially with Mitrovic. And then after that, they got Gillingham, Forest, Brighton, Villa. So they could do all right. Just if they carry on, they got 7 clean sheets in the last 9 before the World Cup. So yeah, I wish I jumped on them. Like I said before, instead of with my poorest team, I because it was only 2 weeks or something to the World Cup, I jumped on a Leeds block just to try and do
Yeah.
something a bit different. It didn't work. I wish I went on Leicester for that with my poorest team. But yeah, Newcastle, Leicester, Brighton's interesting. Like I said, Dunk.
Yeah.
They're a good team. Brighton. I could see them finishing in the top half of the table. Um, like Southampton as well. I wouldn't go for a block Southampton, but they've got like loads of players under two. All the defenders are under 2 million. So if you need an enabler or a
Yeah.
couple of
Can
enablers,
sneak one in there.
just for the fixtures, just the fixtures are brilliant through to February. So if they can turn the ways with the manager bounce, I won't be surprised. They always seem to stay up Southampton.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
You reckon, Aman?
Um, yeah, Newcastle. Because apart from Trippier and Pope, the rest of the defenders are quite reasonably priced.
Yeah, they
Botman
are.
plays and Burn plays, and you could go. I don't know if Lindelof and Maguire will play. Will they play long term or just like more than the weekend games, or just they'll be playing only one like League Cup game?
I think they could probably see the cup game and then the weekend game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't mind going with four of those like Man
Yeah,
United
Yeah,
defenders, like De
definitely.
Gea, Shaw, Lindelof, and Maguire. So if you
yeah,
get a couple of clean sheets, that would be quite good. And
yeah,
I like Aston Villa, like Martinez, Cash, and Digne. They're quite good because Cash and Digne are quite attacking. I don't
yeah.
know what the fixtures are like.
Oh,
So
you don't want to see the fixtures, mate.
okay, yeah. So I'll probably leave that.
Liverpool and
Yeah,
Tottenham next.
yeah, yeah. So probably leave those.
It
But
gets better though in
yeah,
January.
yeah. So yeah, it's hard to go with a block that that will keep a
Yeah,
series of
keep
clean
rolling
sheets.
over.
Yeah,
You could do a semi block though, couldn't you? You could do
yeah,
two,
yeah. That's two. Yeah,
two of one, two of the other, or
yeah.
three of one, two of the other. So you don't have
Or
to put all your eggs in one basket.
I was
Yeah,
thinking, I like to do like a Man City block with Trippier in it,
Yeah.
and I like to do a Newcastle block with Cancelo in it.
Mm.
So you can get solid, solid like clean sheets from like both angles.
yeah,
Yeah, because then you have Cancelo and Trippier in your team, kind of way. But that would
Yeah.
be quite expensive. But yeah,
yeah,
Did
I
we
still,
mention? Go on.
I still like the Man City block for clean sheets overall.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and you know,
We haven't
so
all got 63 million though.
yeah,
yeah. Like Leeds and Everton next up in it after the Liverpool Cup game.
yeah,
Yeah.
You'll probably see a couple of clean sheets there,
yeah.
maybe.
And
Yeah.
when it comes to the title end, they'll be getting those 1-0 wins and all
Yeah,
that.
Mm.
They'll
yeah.
be
There's
like solid, and they'll probably be playing regular defenders then. There
I,
won't be as much rotation, but
I
just
like the Brighton.
Yeah.
For me, it's a decent shout with Charlton, Southampton. All right, Arsenal's not the greatest one, but then Everton and Middlesbrough. I like that 4 or 5 there. 4 out of 5. I think they've got a decent shout. Notoriously solid, usually Brighton. So and the defenders Dunk, Webster, they have that goal scoring threat as well.
what do you guys think of the Arsenal defense? Because they did a lot of damage, and
They did do a lot of
they
damage, and they were basically what I seen was um, if people had the Arsenal block, they weren't going to jump off it.
yeah,
So I think they just like held and hoped kind of thing,
yeah,
and it
they had it
really
for
did pay
months.
dividends.
Yeah, they had it for months. So I'd
So
say,
I mean their fixtures obviously they don't have a cup game. Then they got West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, then Oxford. I don't know. I don't know if he wants, but they probably keep a clean sheet in all 3 of them.
Yeah.
With the
I
way
think
it's been,
I read that they got the most clean sheets away from home, but they only got one clean sheet at home.
is that because maybe they play more progressive, more
Yeah,
attacking at
yeah,
home, so
yeah.
they leave
I'd
themselves a
say,
little bit more open?
yeah. And I don't know, the injury to Jesus might affect them defensively.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I
he's
do.
pressing,
That's strange you say that from a
yeah,
striker, isn't it? But
yeah,
he's pivotal.
yeah. Because why he doesn't, he presses from the start, and I don't know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like if Nketiah can do that kind of pressing. So they might have to change the way they play. So
yeah. I think
you
the
know,
whole team feeds off Jesus.
yeah,
I think he's important,
and
especially when you are playing a pressing game.
he occupies defenders because they know what he can do.
Mm.
And so he's
He
got that.
doesn't give up on anything, does
Yeah,
he? He'll chase
yeah,
everything.
yeah. So
Did
Yeah,
we
real. Go on, Ben.
did we mention Wolves? What do we think of them? Because we get to see the lineups for Wolves.
Yeah, that's what we want. With Wolves, we don't know who's going to line up. I know Nathan Collins. We touched on last week, didn't we? Nathan
Yeah.
Collins and his
Kilman.
mate Kilman at the back. Um, decent options. Obviously,
Mm.
they do start that Gillingham game. Gillingham then Everton. Nice duo of games there. Then United, Aston Villa, and Liverpool in the cup.
Yeah.
So
It'll
it
be very
changes a little
short
bit.
term, wouldn't it? I think.
It would be. I mean, if they played Kilman and Collins and Sarr, in that game against Gillingham, they're worth that punt because they play against Everton.
Mm.
I won't be putting any second string Wolves in.
No, the fullbacks is a bit iffy because that Hugo Bueno has been playing left back in the league, but Ait Nori is normally the first choice.
Yeah,
Mm.
And then on the right hand side, they've got Semedo and Johnny, who can play left back as well,
yeah,
or right back. So we don't really know who's nailed at the minute because Johnny's just come back from a long term injury.
yeah.
Yeah, so the centre backs are most nailed because they've sold all the other ones, haven't they? Sold
That's it. They've none
Bolly,
left.
yeah, they sold Bolly and they sold
Connor Cody.
Connor Cody, yeah,
I think Connor Cody
And
was the good.
Saiz.
and Saiz, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think Connor Cody was the lead at the back, so organising
yeah,
it. So that puts me off the Wolves' defense right now.
mm,
Nathan Collins does get goals, so might be worth a shout.
yeah,
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Interesting one. Like you say, with them cup games again, to see the lineups is pivotal for any punts as well. Right, last one from Tomo. What United attackers would you consider? We've touched on Fernandes and Rashford, who are in our teams. Anybody else? Aman?
I think Ericsson did really well at the end of the first half of the season, so
Yeah,
he's got. I think he might be still on the free kicks and the corners, so and he's relatively cheap at 3.1.
mm,
So I don't mind him because he'll be fresh from the World Cup early exit, so he'll be there playing in that League
yeah,
Cup game for sure. So I don't mind going with him as well. Most of my teams, because you still got those fixtures afterwards, so
yeah,
you can be you'll probably pick up 3 or 5 points, so be consistent.
yeah.
So you know, you never know, he might score and
There's a
stuff.
decent shout.
Yeah, and Anthony on the right's got trickery, so he could be not too bad at 3.8. So you could probably go heavy on the Man United midfield and then transfer them out after those 3 games. So that could be like a strategy.
Yeah,
mm,
So because why those games are worth attacking, because I
yeah, definitely.
maximize the potential of what you got, and then if they don't perform, you can just transfer them out with those 5 transfers. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I don't mind going that way. Like in the same way you're like with Man City when you have like 4 Man City midfielders, so
yeah.
you don't know who's
And they
gonna
block it.
get the score the goals or get the assists. So you could do that a bit with Man United. So have Fernandez, Ericsson, Anthony, Rashford.
Yeah,
So go and really attack those fixtures because some of them will play in that League Cup game against
yeah.
Burnley.
Surely,
Yeah.
surely.
So yeah, and yeah, Lindelof, Maguire can go there short term. So yeah, the short term fixtures are good, and you can probably retain the ones that are on form for the harder games because there'll be some form to back them up. So you could keep Fernandez a bit longer or Rashford if he's scoring goals.
Yeah,
There's no need to take him out if he's
yeah. He's on fire. You're not
yeah
going to touch him, are you?
yeah. So you know
yeah.
you could
Couple of
start with
years,
4 and then reduce that number to 2 or 1.
yeah.
Hmm?
Couple of years ago, Rashford was one of the best strikers in the Dream Team, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had a bad year last year, but he seems to be back on form now.
yeah.
What?
Come back fighting, hasn't
Yeah. What do you think about Martial then for a differential 3.5 million?
Could be worth a punt. It's more for the risk takers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of your worst teams, isn't it? Really, like
yeah,
Rashford's the best pick out of
yeah,
the
yeah,
strikers.
yeah.
he? Yeah,
But yeah, or you could go,
Double up.
yeah, double up. I don't really mind that. Just have Haaland, Rashford, and Martial, and just attack
Make
those fixtures, and then take
yeah.
out Martial.
Make sure you have the money in the bank to take
yeah.
Yeah,
out
Just leave the
yeah,
Martial.
yeah. Leave
yeah,
the budget there.
yeah,
Yeah, work
yeah,
your
Find
way
yourself
back.
using 2 or 3 transfers just to try and get
yeah,
Martial out. Yeah, some good options there. It seems like you've talked yourself into a block United midfielder, Aman.
Well, I'd definitely look. I'd probably go like 5 attackers for those fixtures. So I have
Yeah,
three Man United midfielders and have the two up front. Because
go
I,
all out,
Yeah.
yeah,
all out.
yeah. And if they score like 3 or 4 goals in any
And
game,
you've
you'll
got
be like, yeah,
you've got
you
all
should,
the
yeah,
returns then.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
shout.
the fixtures are there to attack them. And this is probably the best time to attack them because you got
Yeah.
Definitely,
5 transfers to use straight away. So,
definitely.
it's
I,
worth
I,
the
I would
risk.
be more confident about the United lot, them fixtures, if they had Martinez and Varane back.
Mm.
Yeah, you'll
I
get
am, I
solid
am
on them.
feeling a little bit tentative
Yeah,
because I think they might concede, and then are they going to play the same way with them two at the back?
yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
Well,
the
yeah.
fixtures can't be better, can they?
Yeah.
So you
If
just got to go
if
for it.
everyone was fit and available, I'd definitely be looking at Man United block for my top team
Yeah,
because
definitely.
yeah, because you're meeting teams like that have scored less than 1 goal a game, so
Yeah,
you'll be unlucky to lose. You'll probably get 2 clean sheets out of 3.
I
That'll
think
be
Maguire's going to come back like an absolute animal. He's going to get a star
Yeah.
man, a few goals, 2.9 million. Get him in. Right, Aman, a question for you from Flower Pot Man.
yeah.
So, do you plan on increasing your budget a little further, or are you now chasing the points? Another 2 million to around 65 million would help you massively later in the season when Europe returns. Hope you're all well, boys. Nice one for a question, Flower Pot Man. So, what are you doing then, Aman? The
I think
richest man in Dream Team?
I think I'm just gonna change my strategy now because
Yeah.
before I was all about
The
getting the money,
money.
yeah. But
It's
now it's
all
just
about the money.
yeah. So now it's just trying to get the best players possible and get the most points.
Yeah,
So yeah, I've the only one because I'm looking at my team is quite strong. The only one I would change is the goalkeeper because I don't know if I want De Gea long term. But yeah, it would be nice to have more money to get an Edison or Allison.
Mm.
But I think there'll be enough cheap players around like Odegaard to release funds. Like
yeah,
I could go Foden to Saka and release 1 million as
Yeah.
well.
yeah,
So and I could go Salah to Nunes to release a couple of million. See how it is. So, but yeah, my game plan will change and try and get as many points as I can now.
yeah.
Cause it's yeah,
You've
uh,
built that budget well enough, haven't you?
yeah. So I don't really mind if it goes less to 62. I think it's always going to be competitive now, budget, and
Yeah,
yeah, and if the likes of De Bruyne, Foden, Cancelo go down in my team, it won't annoy me too much because they'll be there for probably to the end.
yeah,
Because I'm not gonna take them out because Man City's fixture volume will be big and probably get bigger because
yeah,
they'll be
definitely.
playing all the competitions and going really far. So as long as I got a strong nucleus and my team should be all right.
Yeah, you've done the hard work, mate.
Yeah.
Building it up so
So
much.
yeah.
I'm so
So
jealous, mate. I'm so jealous of your budget.
yeah. I don't have to make any tough choices because some of the teams that are 58 million, they're all right. I can make choices, but when you're working with like 54 million
Mm.
budget, it's really hard because you can't get the players that you want now because
Mm.
there's no Champions League fixtures or Europe.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to like fit in
Yeah, once
Cancelo,
that
De
lands in
Bruyne,
February. Yeah,
yeah, Haaland. You're just making sacrifices, and the teams above you have got those players.
yeah,
So your players that you're bringing in cheaper, they have to outperform the expensive ones by quite a distance, and hope that the expensive ones don't do nothing. But you can't keep them quiet over a long period of time.
That's
So
it.
so
It's a gamble. Like you say,
yeah,
you're trying to choose the right one to sacrifice there,
yeah, but
and usually that bites your ass.
yeah. So probably the easiest way is going for like a Leicester block and like clean sheet, getting
Yeah,
those. So,
yeah,
but it's yes, it's yeah. The budget helps so much because why you can do transfers in one move. I don't
yeah,
have to like do true transfers to get the player I want, so I can like go from player to player, and it makes it a lot easier. Because why
yeah.
some
With that
players,
budget,
yeah,
can't
some
wait to see how that
yeah,
helps you
yeah,
going forward.
yeah. So some players might want to bring in a Cancelo, but might have to do free transfers to get that
Yeah,
but bring that budget in.
yeah.
So yeah, so it's an advantage, but we have to make it work.
We'll
And
see.
yeah,
We will see how it goes. Right. So obviously there were a few mini leagues that went on over the course of the World Cup game. So we just have an update of them. Um, so Dream Team Tonic World Cup Cash League, the top 10. I'll just have a run through there. Run through on there. In 10th, Lee Thomas. In 9th, Lee Giles. In 8th, David Patterson. In 7th, John Mellier. In 6th, Jamie Curry. In 5th, Andrew Tweddle. In 4th, Mark McKee. And the cash prizes. In 3rd, Stephen Williams. In 2nd, Raymond Kelly. And top of the shop, Ben Lee.
Come on! Hey!
So there will be a trophy winging its way over to you, as well as a nice, I think it was a £300 prize.
Happy
Get that,
days.
get the cash sent out tomorrow to all you three, Ben, Raymond, and Stephen. Well played, lads.
yeah, well done.
Well done,
Thanks
everyone.
again. Thanks for being involved. And we also ran a Patreon only World Cup Meaning League, free to enter for everybody. Was it a £50 prize?
Yeah.
So in 10th, we had Jake Bevan. 9th, Gary Paul. 8th, Ryan Fitzsimmons. 7th, Seth Osborne. 6th, Mark McKee. 5th, again, Andrew Tweddle. 4th, Edward Morgan. 3rd, Barry McCormack. 2nd, John Mellier. And top of the shop, Ben Lee.
Come on, the double. Hey!
Oh, shit. Um, yeah. What are you going to do with your prize, Ben?
Well, seeing as though it's for the members of the Patreon, I'm going to donate the first place prize to second place. So that's John Mellier. You will get a £50 prize for winning.
Hey.
I didn't want to take all the money. Of course, all the patrons, thanks for entering the cup, and obviously wanted to pay out a winner, and we wanted to
Yeah.
compete against you. But if I win, it's not fair. So I wanted to give the prize to the next man down. So John Mellier, well done, mate.
Well done.
Top man. Yeah, well in, John. That's it. It's good to compete. All went well.
Even though
Just a
you're a
quick.
Forest fan.
How did it go for you in your mini leagues, Ben?
Oh, unbelievable, mate! Unbelievable. Well, like I said, I've had an 8th place finish overall and a 16th place finish overall, and them two teams were in all these leagues. So I've won all the big mini leagues. I couldn't believe it. Over the
Happy
moon,
days,
mate.
Ben.
Over the moon.
Brilliant. Just in time for Christmas. Nice Brucey bonus, that mate.
Yeah.
Hey, I did win a league though. I won the
Yeah.
Fantasy Football Hub league.
Well done, mate.
So I got a little bit of something. well, I were them, but I were nowhere near in the Tonic Cash League. I were nowhere near in the Patron League. But yeah, it's about picking the right side, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and
So
you absolutely nailed it in yours.
my, I think I've got in the domestic dream team, the normal one. I think two of my teams that I've got in all the big cash leagues is like my ninth and 10th best teams. So I've completely picked the wrong teams to put in
Ah,
the normal dream team. So just shows you, like, luckily there's only 5 teams to play with in the World Cup one.
yeah, I mean, you absolutely nailed it, mate. Just in time for Christmas is lovely. Um, well, mini leagues, obviously, you've got some teams that, like you say, you've picked the wrong team to win a league, and you might not have much to play for. You might not have a high ranking at the moment. We are going to kick off a second chance, second half league,
Yeah,
cash league. So I'm just going to get rid of all this World Cup money. We'll get all that sent out, like you say, to yourselves and to the other two, and then I'll start taking entries for a second chance league. Um, we have spotted something. Well, Ben, you spotted something which you brought to my attention about the next game week, which could mess things up a little bit. So the Patron Cup won't be returning this game week because, and the cash prize for the highest score won't be returning this week either, because we think that there might be a little bit of an issue, um, because one week is going to lead into the next week. So these cup games are going to lead into the boxing game, and they're classed as the same game week. But as we know,
mm,
on Friday, your transfers will be there, and you'll be able to switch players. And I think that might mess with the scoring. It will definitely mess with the scoring on the week scores, possibly on FF stuff and other stuff. So rather than it be a bit of a drama and try and work everything out, I'm going to skip this week. So I'm not even going to start the second half league this week.
yeah,
I'm not going to do the cash week this week, and I'm not going to start the Patron Cup this week, just in case there's a big balls up from Dream Team, because we know
yeah,
they love a balls up every season. So I think this could be it. So we're going to delay that by a week, and we'll get things cracking on the next game week.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so basically, the cup matches for the first game week back should be in game week 15, and the league matches should be in game week 16. But they've got them
yeah,
down on the app and on the website as the same game week. But it's impossible because on the Friday we get a refresh of
yeah.
transfers. You can, I mean, your team is unlocked and you can make transfers again on the Friday. So it doesn't make sense.
So it should be a
We've
reset.
yeah, we've pointed it out to Dream Team, so hopefully they'll do something about it. But
But
we
yeah,
never
just
know.
stop. Yeah, so we can't tie it right. We're just going to skip this week for the competitions and stuff, because I don't want, well, I don't want it ended up a mess basically.
Yeah,
So yeah, so if you're waiting for your cup fixtures, um, they'll be out the following week, as well as the cash prize for the £50 top scorer for game week. It will be game week 16. Um, so yeah, Aman, thanks very much for coming on and getting involved.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a real pleasure. Been a dream of mine to be on the Tonic podcast. So
pleasure, mate.
yeah,
You're too kind, mate. Nice
Pleasure's
one.
ours.
Like I say, we'll get you back on. We'll get you back on at some point, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
all right. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you guys as well.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah,
Cheers, mate.
still
Uh,
plenty to play for.
Yeah,
there is,
Yeah,
there is.
still 2/3 of the season to
yeah.
go, so don't give up, everyone.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like I
And
say,
don't,
we'll get go on.
yeah, go on. I was going to say, like we say, you're going to have a new cash league start from scratch as well after this World Cup.
Yeah, which is always good. Always good to freshen it up. If you've been failing and you need a bit of inspiration, you can get involved in another mini league. We'll have a second one. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone who supports us. It's our pleasure. And the next time we speak to you, we'll be back to Premier League action. So we'll have a lot more to chew over. So cheers, guys.
Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you're listening by audio, please give us a good rating, please.
That's on Ben. Cheers, guys.
Good night.
Good night. Cheers.